Hello everyone, welcome to this Friday Mustad Live edition. We're in Newmarket. This is my office and it's nice and warm in here at the moment. It's pretty freezing cold outside today. We're focusing on the 2-year-old racehorse, how we're going to shoe it and the environment that works in. So we're going to head off down to the 2-year-old yard now and see what we've got down there. Right, so we're down at the horse. We're in our 2-year-old yard, and this is predominantly the colt side. So everything in here is a 2-year-old colt. This horse is out the stallion Far, so it's a well-bred horse, and he's just started the training regime. We've had a look at him. Obviously, we've been shoeing him since he's been here, and a lot of our horses we keep barefoot behind, especially up until they start cantering. Well, this chap's starting to canter now, so we're going to be putting a pair of hinds on him. And also, if we come in now, you tend to find with a lot of yearlings, young stock, you get a bit of thrush, and I don't know if I put this down to the fact that they're a little bit unhandled and the lads don't want to get in and pick them out, or they're just coming into different training regimes and picking up all sorts of different bugs and bacteria in their foot anyway. But so you can see this front, it's got an unstable capsule, and I think that's mainly caused through the central cleft being full of thrush and bacteria and rotten. So we're going to see if we can get a bar shoe on this to stabilise the capsule, and it's a bit of a risk with a 2-year-old because they can predominantly pull shoes off where they're unbalanced, unfit, and sometimes just overexcited and throwing their legs around here, there and everywhere. But the beauty of the new range of bar shoes that St Croix have brought out is they've got a nice inverted straight bar, as we can see here, and it's absolutely ideal for these cases. So I'm not looking to give any kind of length to this foot. I'm purely want to get my foot balanced, stabilise the heels, and then we can treat that thrush and avoid any more hoof distortion along the way. We're very fortunate in the fact that we get to shoe our own 2-year-olds. So we've got our 2-year-olds, our 3-year-olds, our 4-year-olds, and some 5-year-olds all within 1 yard. We've got 180 horses, and when you can shoe your own 2-year-olds, you're shoeing them for the future, in the fact that by the time these horses reach 4, sometimes you can inherit problems from other yards or training facilities. The fact that we've got our 2-year-olds, and generally if they're good, they're going to be with us as 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. So if we can do a good job on them now and train our feet the way we want them for the future, because every yearling starts off with a lovely little foot. By the time it's finished its racing career, you can end up with a big flat foot. So along the way, we're just trying to keep everything for the future. So you can see, it's a real et away at the non-sensitive part of the frog, the bacteria, and now we're down to the sensitive part of the frog there. So one, the bar's going to protect that area, but 2, it's also going to stabilise the heels and the hoof capsule. I am going to pop a clip on this as well, because these horses go out and do a lot of road work, which we'll see a bit later. And shoes predominantly push back on these 2-year-olds. We're using lightweight nails, smaller nails. So by adding a clip, it's just going to stabilise that shoe in the centre of the foot for us. So the key here to maintaining a healthy foot and avoiding this thrush to get any worse, we've got to get correct hoof balance, because if we put a bar shoe on an unbalanced foot, it's pointless. It's still not going to stabilise and grow the way we want it to. There's not an awful lot to trim off this guy, and his feet is reasonably balanced. He's been on a 4-week shoeing cycle, but we must make sure we get this foot medial lateral balance correct, which I'm happy that. Again, we offer our shoe up, and you can see we've not done anything to this shoe yet. It is fitted to the point of heel. You know, there's no length in this, and it's not short, it's just fitted to the foot, and that bar is purely giving us stability. We don't want to be fitting with a go up a size and fit with length. It's the lesser of two evils. We shoe it slightly closer than ideal. He's not going to pull it off. If we go up a shoe size and he pulls it off, it's not going to do anyone any good anyway. So that's dressed. We're going to pop a clip on that. But also, the hinds are very important. So I'll just push him across a bit. So everyone, this is Sultan. He's my new apprentice, just started with us this week. So he's got the glamorous job of holding for the foreseeable future until he's up and running doing stuff. And Jake's on the camera as usual. So if he's getting bad shots, put some comments on there and tell him what you want to see. He probably just wants to see the office today because it's the warmest place. So again, back feet, these have been bare for quite a while now. We've had these yearlings in since November, and they naturally, when they're going out, they're wearing the lateral sides down a lot more than their medial sides. So when we come to shoe them for the first couple of times, you can find that your shoes are going to move across, again because of this imbalance. And it's very difficult at the moment to try and trim balance into this foot because there's not an awful lot of foot to be able to do that with. And again, he's got a touch of thrush in this frog. I'm not going to bar shoe the hind. I'm going to give him a bit of length, and I think by shoeing the hind feet just with open heeled shoes and a bit of length will be enough to help this case of thrush out in this back foot. It's not as deep as the front by the time we've trimmed up all the flaps. So we've got a Silk Croy steel training shoe. Again, these are ideal for these. They're lightweight. I'm able to give a bit of length, but you can see the symmetry in this foot from the medial side to the centre, the lateral side to the centre. We've got more mass over the medial side. Well, I don't think this is flare. I think it's just the fact we've lost the outside due to him being barefoot. So we're going to pop that shoe on, but I'm also going to pull a little clip just in front of the heel quarter, and we call it a kicker because predominantly you put these on horses that kick the walls and it stops them shifting across. But in this circumstance, it's going to enable us to give a little bit of lateral width. The clip will stabilise where the shoe is and stop it moving across on us. So we'll go to the forge, pull these clips, come back and knock these on. This is a everyday cycle. At the moment, first lot is out. This horse is due to go out third lot, so we've got a bit of time. You can see here we've also got a treadmill in the 2-year-old yard. There might be something training on here in a bit, hopefully we'll see. So they're you know, the 2-year-olds, they're still busy being pushed on in their training. They're not having an easy time of it. About where I'm going to place that kicker. So I'm just going to pop it behind the 4th nail hole, just before the quarter bend. If it's on the quarter, you'll find it difficult to fit. You just have it just in front of the quarter bend, where you've still got your straight piece of hoof. You'll get a nice fit there, and it won't interrupt how you fit your outside. If you come too far around the corner with it, you'll always struggle to get your toe quarter fitted and your heel bent on. So just behind nail hole 4, so we're going to pull that clip in from. And then our aluminium shoe. These aren't centre marked, but you can just eyeball it. Put a little dot where you're going to go from. I use, just have a bit of card or a bit of paper, a bit of white paper, have it down there. When you can get a burn mark in the cardboard, that shoe's ready to go. See, I'll pull it out, roll my toe, I'll just get a little burn mark there. Few seconds. Do these. Yeah, a nice strong burn. And I'm not angling my stud. I've got a stud punch for this because it'll pull a nice little clip. Just come just straight down, and that'll just give me that nice little bob. Don't have to be massive clips. Again, it's a size 4 shoe, which is a 4 3/4 foot. So we don't need a monstrous great clip on it. Whilst I'm here, take the opportunity to just take a little bit of sole pressure away. I'm also just going to take a little bit of, just take it off the frog. I'm not looking to put pressure onto the frog, I'm looking to protect it. I'll just let that air cool for a bit before I quench her out. So, onto our kicker. Again, 4th nail hole, just behind it. So again with this, I don't want a massive clip. It's only there to just give us a bit of I'm at the anvil, I might as well put a bit of shake into it to save me doing it too much on the cold stand. See there, just in between nail 4 and 5, just before the quarter bend on these St. Croix. Pull that out. Pull the alley out now. Right, so I'm just going to put a bit of boxing on my steel shoe, and I'm also going to put a bit of boxing on my aluminium shoe, and a little bit more inverted. This nice radius inverted bar there fits lovely into the radius of the linisher, so I can take a little bit more length out of it if I need to, like that. So this is the bit where you'll turn your volumes down before the wives shout at you for watching Farrier on a Friday night, when that's all you do every day of the week. So if you want to back off a bit, Jake, so I don't get too noisy. show you this as well whilst I'm up this end of the yard. These have become quite a modern tool in the racing environment now. It's called a salt box. So the horse comes into here, in the back wall here, a little hole. Through there a fan blows a mist of salt into the box. The horse breathes it in. It's good for their lungs, good for horses with any skin conditions, stuff like that. So they're coming more and more common to see in racing yards, and again it brings its own problems to the farrier. You've got a horse stood in a box there with something being blown at it. If you're fitting a little bit too wide on the inside, you know, they're treading them off. So you think about all these different environments that we're shoeing in: the stable, the salt room, the treadmill. John there, still nothing on there at the moment. You're shoeing for that, and you're also shoeing for these going out up the gallops, working in synthetics, and come April they'll be going on to the turf gallops where there'll be a bit more slide, and so there's a lot of environments you're shoeing a horse for within the racing environment. It's always worth noting. Right, let's see how these fit up. Is it right, Simon?
Yep.
Right. So another little tip, if I'm shoeing some real small little fillies and they don't like their legs being pulled out from under their bodies too much, just got a rope and a girth sleeve. Some of you have seen this before. I've done it on my tips and tricks, but you can just hold the limb up like that, pop it through your leg, and then the limb stays in line under the body. The horse is more comfortable with that. Like I say, predominantly fillies, but it gives you can still work. You've got both hands to work. You're out from under the horse. Anything's to go wrong, you can just drop the rope and walk away. So I'll bar shoe. I'm happy with how that fits. Just ease my clip in. Good boy. By the time I've eased that clip in, that'll just come back a touch. And like I say, we're fitting, you know, it's almost like a hunter fit bar shoe, but we're only using the bar to stabilise the capsule. We're not looking to take the load off the heels or anything like that, because he's got a nice strong heel. He's got a nice upright foot. It's just unstable at the heels. You know, there's a nice fit there. Set my clip up. Again, I didn't pull a huge clip, so you don't want to be gouging in great big marks. Put your clips in. Set that up. Should have done that at the anvil. Good boy. Right. So if you get behind there, Jake, we've covered the heel. It's fitted to boxing. It's over the danger area, the sensitive part of that frog, so it's aiding in protection. So I selected for this, which is a great yearling now, the Swift 00. These are 42mm as opposed to the Zero that's 44mm, so they're a little bit shorter. They've got a nice little head that fits perfectly into these St. Croix Concord shoes. Again, thinking about future, I think we've roughly worked it out. A racehorse is going to be shod 12 to 16 times in a season. Plates on, steel shoes on off, on off. If you've got good old nail holes, we tend to try and use them. We don't go for it. We'll stick to the basics, 1/3 of the height up the wall, so that you've got something to nail to every time. It's important to still keep your farriery basics regardless of type of animal you're shooting. We're trying to shoot this horse as best as we can for the future, so it is only a little foot, so I'm going to stick with a 5 nail hole. 5 nails. Good boy. And these 2-year-olds are restless. There's no way around it. You've just got to either shoe a pair at a time or work fast to get them done, because he's starting to get a bit restless now. You can see that. And the clip fit in. Move on to the back foot. So the back foot was, good boy. Here we go. You know, he's shy of foot up on the lateral side there. Our clip should fit nice. Not a bad bit of width there. Quite happy with that really. If you look down the back, if you can get down the back there, Jake. I've got centre of heel, centre of steel fit, and I'll just pull that forward. That's good, lad. Get it in position. Good boy. Relax. Oh no. All right. There's a good lad. So you can see that's the fit I'm looking for. Set this clip up now, and that'll just hold it in position with 2 good nails and stop that moving across. So let's get this nailed on. He's due out his exercise soon, so. So a nice strong clip is what we're looking for. It doesn't have to be big, but definitely strong in the base to hold this shoe. And for the back shoe, I've selected the Hammerhead 1. It's a nice hard wearing nail. Fits nice into the crease, and it's strong. Again, we want a nice strong shank nail to stop these shoes moving across. Good boy. Out we go. Good lad. Good lad. Good boy. And again, I'm always looking for close fitting inside on these yearlings. By the time they start cantering up the hill, they get tired very quickly, and you can start to get all sorts of interference injuries. So a nice hunter, close fitting inside. Good boy. I'll bring that forward and just make sure my clip is where I wanted it to be. Just set that on a touch more. And you can see I've been able to give a nice bit of width, and that will hold that in position. Without that clip, you can guarantee that's going to move across. So right, let's get this chap clenched up. Good boy. There we go. Left. I just notch out under them, under my clenches, as you would your riding horses, just to get a nice flush clench, and you've got all the strength of the clench still in the foot, not rast away. And again, you know, we knew this side of the foot is lacking in wool, there's no need to over rasp. Again, we've potentially got 16 shoeings into this horse this year. The more we can preserve, the better it is for him and us. Every time we're shoeing him, we want over rasp feet. It's not a show or a competition. It's more the functionality we're looking for and keeping the integrity of our hoof. Just put a bit of grease on, show our work off. Lovely. Right, if we can just pull him to the front, please, Dalton, we can clench those fronts up. And this is something I do almost instinctively when I'm shoeing them. It's just pop that bedding back so I can see those feet. It's very difficult sometimes to get a look at these yearlings out of the box. They're a bit too fresh sometimes to be leading up and down. It's a bit of a risk. So the more ways we get to see our feet, the better. And like I say, we'll be looking at his feet more and the way he walks once the rider's on his back. Then it's not a risk of anyone leading these up. Up we go. Here we go. Good lad. Good lad. Good boy. So going back, our toe clip was pulled on these bar shoes purely for shoe location and function of avoiding the shoes slipping back when he's going out. They don't often like the hands, these youngsters. Good boy. After that, there's a little bit of unwanted whip on that inside. That's the beauty of aluminium, you can just, a few licks of the rasp and just put it back where you want it. Good boy. Good lad. Good boy. Good boy. And just present my work, clean it up as best you can. To the other side, please, someone. There we go. So I hope some questions are starting to come through. It is a little bit basic, but it doesn't hurt to go back, cover the basics, and see a different environment. I was hoping that, you know, a lot of the guys watching this may not have worked in a racing environment. This will give you a little insight into my world and how you can continue to shoe horses with all the relevant shoes that you'd use in, you know, the hot shoeing world and pleasure horses. Good boy. And I'd be interested to see this guy when he gets tacked up and ridden out, how he performs in these. it's very satisfying for racing farriers to have a 2-year-old that's come through their system, you know, be a winner as a 2-year-old, continue on as a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old and win some nice races, and you've been the guy tending to his feet the whole way through. You have to have a bit of competition really about you in a racing environment, because you know, that's what these horses are here for. They're a business entity, but they're here to win races, and if you're part of that winning team, it's a lovely feeling. And maintaining them more than anything. It's not about the ones that have gone wrong and you've been able to fix. It's almost the ones that you've been able to maintain from day one, never go lame. That really shows your ability and skill as a farrier, if you can attain that really. So, right, let's get the magic potion involved. Where is that, Jake? Brush buster?
Oh, in the drawer in the room.
Okay, Jake will just go get that whilst I'll just run you through maybe some better shots. Come on, boy. Oh, lad. So, there's our straight bar, or inverted bar. Fitted as best we can, centre of heel, centre of aluminium in this case. Good boy. This was our affected foot. And if you just pop them forward onto the concrete for a Sultan, I'll just see if I can show a bit of a lateral. That's perfect. So, you know, we're covering the heel, yeah. Ideally bar shoes, you're kind of trying to come under at the bulbs in the pleasure horse world, for whatever scenario you're putting them on for, but for this case we're purely putting them on for hoof stability. Right, Jake has got, here we go, hoof hygiene liquid. I'm sure we've all seen this by now, but it really does work. You know, you sort the feet out like this now and you get this capsule where you want it every day, twice a day preferably, until the bottle's empty. And no more thrush. The beauty of this product, you can get, with that nozzle, you can get right in, treat all the affected areas very easily. And just do the main worst foot. Go on, boy. Okay. Up we go. Again, all over that. So this will be left out now with this horse's grooming kit, and the lad that does this horse should be doing this every day. Great, so we'll wait for the rider to come back, tack him up, and then we'll follow him out to the track and see what he has to do out there. So we're just going to have a look. Here's a 2-year-old on the treadmill. And a lot is expected of these 2-year-olds. And it's a real test of your shoeing. Because we've got lightweight shoes, small nails because of the foot that we're dealing with. So everything's got to be as good as you can make it. The flatter your foot, the more level your shoe, and then when you draw up, when you've nailed on, your shoes fit tight, well fitted clip, stop the shoes being pushed back. It's a real test of your farriery job. That's Claire, the track to think about. So we're at the bottom of the Gallops, Newmarket, where this horse will be coming out. You can see, you know, where they've got to go up the hill, but this is the surface that they're working on. So we can't be giving any silly length with our shoeing or bar shoes. I think this is important for people to see that, you know, they should hunter style for a reason. This is really deep. As it goes further up the Gallops, the track's getting deeper and the hill's climbing up. And by the time these two-year-olds pull up at the top, they're so tired they go straight from gallop to walk within like a second and then almost stop dead. So they're pretty much, you don't want to be shooting. Well, look, we've got some just going up here now. Just video them Michael going up. So again, that's a different string to ours, but I thought you might be able to appreciate the different environment again, from the yard environment to the stable to the treadmills, and then to what they've actually got to do in training.
Be riding one, boys. Okay.
Just to show another environment, this is down on the heath. These are lunge pits. So some horses that are a bit fresh, they're going to come in here and be lunged round before the jockeys get on them. And again, it's deep synthetic surface or sand in some of them, and they're notorious shoe pulling areas. These are horses winging it round on the lunge. So that's another environment to think about when shoeing horses down in the racing environment. And so this is our horse here, number 41. Follow him out. So they walk round the yard 5-10 minutes, getting warm first, and we'll follow them out down the road just so you can see again what these two-year-olds get up to. Might get a bit wobbly now, guys. We've got the fillies. They've been walking around this front yard. It's a bit like a hunt meet, really. They all gather first before going out down to the training tracks. And like I say, this is really where you get a good opportunity to see the horses out, and you know, if you've got one or two that you're keeping an eye on, this way you can follow them, see what they're up to, how they're moving, make your assessments there with the rider on its back, because they do act completely different when saddled up to just being trotted up by a holder in hand. You can see how close they move and the interference is going on. So this ride, they're going out down this horse walk. Again, it's all gravels, tarmac. At the moment there's plenty of salt thrown down, frosty mornings. So again, the key to having good products, shoes, nails, and a well practiced trade is going to enable you to shoe these as best you can, because like I said, we're using lightweight shoes, small nails, and these horses, you can see from shoeing it in the box to potentially it going on the treadmill or in a spa, then it's having to come out down these walkways that are all concrete and then across onto the training tracks. You're asking a lot of your products and your skill. So I haven't been able to keep up with my horses. He's long gone, but I'll try and get up there. So where they're going across to now is what they call the Severals training area. You can see another string, someone else's string coming back. Yeah, these 2-year-olds are going out, crossing roads, having other horses come near them. They're amazing, really. There wouldn't be many 2-year-olds in the pleasure horse industry that would accept all this, what's being thrown at them, onto the busy Newmarket. So we'll go across to the Severals now and see what they do over there. So we're on the Severals training facility now in Newmarket. So this is where the 2-year-olds will come from where they were at their stables, which is probably half a mile. They've had to walk down here on the tarmac, and then they'll do their trot work down here now. And again, it's a synthetic surface. That's our string. There's our chestnut boy, number 41. See, he's moving quite well there. And they'll be on here now doing 5 or 6 laps of this ring before going out, and then up that hill to do their canter work. And that hill was right the way over there. So as I've said before, you really are relying on good quality products to help you out with your everyday work. And we'll head in now as the snow's starting to come down in Newmarket. Right, so we're back in the workshop, nice and warm. A bit of a take-home message now. So we've been and shod the horse. You've seen my kind of daily routine of shoeing a 2-year-old and what that entails, different environments it's working in. So some key words really is, and this could work for any discipline of horseshoeing, whether it's pleasure industry, eventing, racing, assessment. Look at the horse's conformation. What age is it? You know, you shoe a 10-year-old completely different to a 2-year-old. The fitness and the type of work where the horse is at. So if a 2-year-old has only just come into training, it's going to get weak very quickly. So that's going to influence how you shoe it. The environment, well, we've seen several different environments this morning with treadmills, the stable, which is predominant environment, the training tracks, the lunge rings, spars, the salt room, and then all of that is going to influence your shoe type and your nail selection, and make sure they're paired together. There's no point having the wrong shoe with the wrong nail. It's not going to benefit you long term in shoeing. So really start to understand and know your products really is the key to this. Hope you enjoyed this Mustad live, and we're going to keep doing these. I'm not sure who's up next, but stay tuned to Mustad to find out who's coming next, and we'll see you all soon.